Math was only 12 when he first felt the heavy weight that people call guilt. It was a gray, misty afternoon. On a dirt path behind the village school in the outskirts of Lyon, Math stood trembling, a broken brick, stained with blood, clenched in his small hand. Just a few feet away lay Peter, the only son of a regional lieutenant, unconscious, blood seeping from a wound on his head and soaking into his crisp white shirt. Math's face was blank, emotionless. He had no idea how things had escalated this far. Just minutes earlier, it had been nothing more than a schoolyard quarrel. Math was clever and quick-witted, but he desperately craved respect, at least from the other boys in his class at St. Croix Primary. He was the only child of Estelle, a gentle and poor widow who worked as a blacksmith's assistant. At school, Math would brag loudly, trying to look strong and important. He often talked about things he would own or do, even though his own home barely stayed warm through winter. One day, during recess, Math spotted Peter holding a beautiful tin soldier on horseback, a finely crafted toy that every boy in the village longed for. Math wanted it so badly his hands trembled. But deep down, he knew his mother could never afford it. That afternoon, as Peter walked alone behind the school, Math followed and tried to intimidate him. "If you don't lend me that horse for a few days, I'll tell your father you've been stealing books." Peter shoved him back angrily. The boys struggled. In a burst of frustration, Math reached toward the old wall and grabbed a loose brick. A dull, sickening thud. Then silence. Math was taken to the local constable, then sent home. Estelle didn't scold him, didn't shout. She just pulled him close and held him tight, her tears soaking into his dirt-streaked hair. The next morning, Estelle walked to Peter's home, knelt before his stern-faced parents, and begged forgiveness. She offered to nurse the injured boy herself. Math was suspended from school for a month. He was also sentenced to community service, beginning with cleaning the village market and scrubbing floors at the abbey. And through it all, Estelle never left his side. She worked beside him, sharing the punishment, never complaining. Twice each day, she visited Peter to change his bandages, feed him soup, and wipe his forehead, despite the contempt in his family's eyes. Math watched silently. He saw his mother's tired shoulders bend over the child who once rejected him. And for the first time, his heart ached. On the third week, Math was sent to work at the St. Martin orphanage. There, he met children with no parents, no homes, no one waiting for them. One noon, as Math served porridge, a grimy little boy with tangled hair whispered, "You're lucky. At least you have a mom. Mine died when I was 3. Math froze. His eyes drifted toward the window where Estelle stood patiently, holding a cloth bag of food,